Never had I imagined I would make a video about this, but hey, here we are, talking about it. Hi, this is Siley the Fox. Welcome to a new video. If you've never been in my socials or you've never seen my videos or you're new here, you need to know, for the sake of context, that I am a teacher. I have worked with little kids, with adults at university level, and now I am teaching at high school level, covering first certificate preparation, certificate of advanced English, and literature. After there, we're all very professional, nothing out of the blue, but hey, outside of the classroom, I dress up as a gigantic fox. Now, in this video, my patrons voted for a life story, and that is what we will be doing today. We will talk about the experiences I had being a teacher and a furry. So let's just hop onto it. Let's start with something quite family friendly, and by family friendly I mean something funny, I guess. Not too concerning. Everyone loves a good drawing, I guess. That's for a fact. However, coming one day to school and find this on the board, that was slightly worrying for me. And let me tell you why. I know it's super cute, super nice, and it must have been with the best of intentions, but think at how I was feeling when I saw it. Let's rewind some months ago to when the head teacher found out I was a furry. They found my Instagram and called me into their office to talk about it. I was a bit concerned, to say the least. I had issues in previous schools with the fact that I was a furry. People generally don't understand it. That's something sad, to be honest. But notwithstanding this little feeling, I just felt happy that some students might know I am a fluffy dog on the internet.
No, you're not a dog.
Yo, shut the So, but yeah, notes aside, I had a previous trauma with it because I had lost a job, or, well, my private life being leaked, and I fear that that was gonna happen here as well, but fortunately it didn't happen. We can just say that this was a very nice gesture, but hey, can we focus on the freaking facts that this drawing says meow? Oh my gosh, that is impressive. That was the thing that impressed me the most, because hey, let's be honest, this student knew about my meow. That's something that I need to give props to. This is so cringy. On another note, sometimes being friendly with students and, well, receiving some banter is great. Sometimes teachers and students build something called rapport. Wow. This is nothing else than just a sane dialogical relationship conducive to learning in a more enriching way. By following this idea, I want you to picture this friendly old fox being friendly and caring with some other students, and at the same time enjoying his time in class. Two students who found that I was a furry last year started mocking me in a friendly way about how they knew the first day they saw me that I was gay. Yeah. I don't know what this has to do with the fact that I am a furry, but hey, I guess I am a furry, but I am also gay, but not because I'm a furry. Whatever. Leaving that aside, these two have been so lovely and attentive that I believe after they finish school, they will continue to be my friends. And that's something I would like to address. Teachers and students being friends, is that possible? Well, yes, it is. However, it's unprofessional. The ideal way to approach this is by waiting until they finish school, or at least until they are not your students anymore. That is something I have always done in higher levels, especially at university. Professionalism and the image you give off are key to a respectable position in class. Yet, since these two students are no longer part of my classes, this year at least, I allow ourselves more casual conversation and jokes. They used to ask me about my life, my former relationship, my life in general, you know, and one day, this. Oh boy. You wanna know what this is? It was ours. One of them made, asking for extra credit. Even if they are not my students anymore, they mocked as if they were. Unfortunately for them, I do not take bribes, and I don't think I'll ever do in the near future. Some of the tales I have include jokes such as, "Ew, furry, we should put them to sleep," or "No, bro, disgusting." That is why your parents dislike you. I mean, do not misunderstand it, please. This is just friendly banter. I mean, it sounds mean, but we are mean with each other in a friendly way. That's how Argentinian friendship works, I guess. Yeah, this is something from Argentinian culture, I guess. Anyways, finally, there is something that we need to talk about. as you know, life has its ups and downs, as well as our everyday journey. Teaching has that as well. The context is that one of the teachers in the school I work was about to retire, and I was the candidate to take those hours. As you know, Argentina is not doing quite well economically since the previous government destroyed everything, and having some extra hours might have very well helped me cover some extra expenses I had. Yet, one day, I arrived at school and the head teacher called me into the office. Welcome all to Jeopardy, everyone, where your knowledge will give you the best rewards. My name is Ziley the Fox, I'm your host, and I have a question for you. What do you think happened during this closed door meeting? A. Ziley was given a prize. B. Ziley was told he was given the hours. Or C. Ziley was kicked in the ass for being a furry. Come on everyone, the clock is ticking. Yay, time's up. If you answered option C, that is correct! Yay! On a serious note though, apparently one student I did not know about, and without whom I had never interacted before, knew my TikTok account for some reason, and their mother complained about the fact that I was both a furry and gay in 2024. Yes. Of course I was not given the position. I had a heated argument with the directors of the institution, and I was even threatened to get fired if I continued to talk about it, since they already had enough with accepting me as I was, according to their, speech. So I am kinda resentful of their attitude. I know it sucks. Sometimes you have to just play by the rules and wait until the old generations die, so that we can live in peace, I guess. That's what I believe. I know it's bad and awful though it may sound, I guess it's the only way out. I heard, however, that there was a kind of a little debate, and by little I mean extremely big, when students of that course found out I was just dismissed. They complained with the authorities, and that was very kind of them. I need to give that to them. I guess it shows they like me after all. But hey, as I was told by the head teacher, parents pay my salary. And if I go after them because one person complained, as the head teacher told me, I was gonna be out. I don't know if I am allowed to talk about this, but hey, since I've never mentioned anything on anyone, I think this remains privately enough. This is just an experience that brought me a lot of grief, and to make matters worse, it happened during the week of my breakup. So my stress was spreading through my body like a bushfire, to say the least. If you want my honest opinion, what I hated the most about this was the little to no empathy some people had. These parents are basically rich. They live in gated communities, they enjoy a life of luxury, they have all the money they want, and they can do away with whatever they want to. And they did not hesitate to leave someone without their job for a tantrum. It really pisses me off that people like these exist, and they even think they are right. That is what is, in a way, infuriating, I guess. But well, at least I am still working after all this, and happily enough, I was offered 2 positions at another school in the morning, so I was able to complement my time and get those extra hours, which eventually gave me some extra pocket money to cover my expenses. At least I take home the heartwarming attitude of the rest students who had towards my situation, even if I never knew them or I never had lessons with them. As a colleague told me, that shows how good of a person a teacher you can be, and that's for a fact. On a closing note though, and after all this, I hope you guys like this video. Remember, you can show support by liking and subscribing as usual. It's amazing how you help me grow in YouTube and Twitch every day, and I want to also thank and give a special shout out to my tier 4 Patreon, Uchu Caribou, who has been incredibly supportive this month. All I can say is thank you. You rock. You guys are the best. If you want to support me on Patreon as well, the link is right below the description of this video. Again, it's not necessary, but if you want to, hey, there are cool rewards. You can check them out. I hope you found this video of your liking. Have an amazing week, and as always, see you guys in the next video. Meow!